Tarafal, the island of San Nicolau. Galapagos over there. Pretty calm, but sometimes it rolls. Let's go check out the town.
This is the second of 3 Tarafals on 3 different islands. Just in front of us was the fishing museum. Unfortunately, it was closed. And next door was where they make this world-famous canned tuna. We asked to visit, but could not on that day. Here there are a lot of cool Italian retirees. The town is obviously very relaxed and chilled, yet it's got necessities and more, such as bank machines, hotel restaurants, and Chinese stores with everything cheap in Chinese, as well as a really crowded public beach and surfers. As we were walking along, a car stopped us to say hello. It was Guido, an Italian retiree who invited us to his home. Guido served Lambrusco bubbly. His house helper was cooking a Cape Verdean fish dish for him.
We're here with Guido, an Italian, who's invited us to his house, and showing us that these are apartments for rent. Check it out.
He's been living here several years, was once married to a Cape Verdean woman, and he's built this house for himself in which he rents out the upper floors. Around him is a community of foreigners, German, Italian, French, and Portuguese.
Moi, je préfère la vie en bateau. Là, une bonne maison, mais je laisse pour.
It's really nice, but we're not ready to settle on land. Happy to be floating around the world for now. Earlier, I had checked in with the police, a requirement when arriving at every island. I also bought a few things, bread rolls, ham and cheese, and flip-flops.
Nat found the ultimate cool spot to put the dinghy, and we just got back here and I couldn't see the dinghy because it was there. I was afraid somebody stole it, but it's here with the Polizia Marittima. It's tied up here, so cool.
My fear of dinghy theft was unwarranted. People often ask on forums, how do you keep your dinghy from getting stolen? Well, having it tied up by the police to their boat is a pretty good solution. We got back to the boat for a good night's rest. In the morning, we'll go and discover more.
Woke up to a surprise this morning. It's been calm all along here, and all of a sudden these gusts are just coming down here from this mountain, blowing the shit out of everything, man. Turned over my dinghy, was flipped over. Luckily I was there and I saw it happen, and was able to flip it back over and pull up the little outboard motor and rinsed it out a little bit. Hopefully there's not too much salt in there and it'll start again, but man, this is like, it's unnerving. I don't like this. You know, it's not forecasted either. So hopefully it's just a passing thing and then it'll calm down. Well, the catamaran next to me here is get their engine running, and it seems all ready to go in case of something happens. And another guy went chasing after a fishing boat that went floating off. So that was cool of him. Let's hope the weather restores to normal again. There's the oil tanker that's just docked here. Pretty wild. Man, nasty. Like that. I don't know how Natasha sleeps through this. Anyways. Alright, things will get better. Time for coffee.
I do not like to leave Galapa in these conditions. We'll have to go ashore another time. Later, the wind calmed and we visited more of Tarafal with the fisherman Fish, who we'd met coming in a few days ago. We walked all over town, ate grilled chicken and pork skewers, and drank stumperat. A mobile music stage was rehearsing for Carnaval. And we were on our way back to Mindelo for the festivities. Nat suggested we'd sail at night, and I had to agree. Conditions are milder in the evening, and you arrive early in the day, rather than chase the setting sun to arrive before nightfall. We had about 40 nautical miles to travel. It's about 8 or 10 hours of sailing. It's all noted in Galopin's notebook.
Sailing in some pretty manly conditions. We're crossing over from San Nicolau to Sao Vicente and Mindelo because we're going to the Carnaval there, which is going to start in a couple days. And we had the bright idea to sail at night because wind is usually a little bit lower, which doesn't really seem to be the case now, but yeah, it's okay. It's not like 20 knots and sea's okay, but it's manly. It's manly, and we left at about 12 o'clock, and hopefully we should be there around 9, 10 o'clock this morning. So it's now like 2:30 or something, and conditions have settled a little bit. It was a little stronger before near the island, and now seems cool. We just need to make sure to get above the 2 deserted islands, and it's weird because they're not marked or anything, you know, there's no lights or nothing, so, but they're on the chart, so all good. Let's see if we can catch up in the morning when you can see something. It's kind of useless to film at night because you can't see anything. Oh. There. There. Oh, I can't see anything.
Since we left at midnight, the evening went by pretty quickly. I love sailing at night, but this time we were beating into the wind. It's more challenging than serene. The day is welcome when you can finally see around you. Conditions had calmed quite a bit. There was still a mist effect, which is actually thick dust swept up from the Sahara Desert, hundreds of miles east. We were only doing about 4 knots speed. Earlier, we peaked well above 7.5 knots. Rest assured, the wind will pick up during the day. The sun was fighting hard to get above the curtain of dust, but no matter what, a sunrise at sea is always a special moment. we had to cross the bay and pass the northernmost point of the island. We'd done most of the journey, but I pushed Galopin hard into the wind to keep it bearing north of the point, so we wouldn't have to tack. Look at this, we are in the broad Atlantic, about 400 miles off the coast of West Africa, sailing around these tiny jagged rocks born of volcanoes, where for centuries vessels of all kinds have come to trade, conquer, fuel up, or hide away. And now we are part of this maritime history. But back to sailing. We've got one more obstacle to get around, the northernmost point. We sailed dangerously close, but I was vigilant. I was just sneaking Galopin by. I had worst case scenarios in mind, motor ready to charge on if necessary, but we held strong. Just around the point, we'll be heading downwind, and smooth sailing all along the northern coast of Sao Vicente, where we could see the hideouts of rich Cape Verdeans. We'd soon be back to Mindelo Bay, and just in time for Carnaval.